Myths are ancient stories that offer explanations for natural phenomena. Some details in myths are reflected in real life. But myths are largely based on people's beliefs, not on real, proven scientific explanations. Discovering the scientific explanation for a myth helps us appreciate and understand it better. We use the present perfect tense to talk about a past event with present importance. The present perfect tense uses has or have, depending on the subject and the past participle form of the verb. We can also form questions and negative sentences using the present perfect tense. This tense is useful in many ways. Bakunawa, the moon-eating dragon. When the world was still new, there were 7 moons. Bathala, the creator of land, sea, and sky, had made them to light up the sky at night. They were as bright as the sun, and the earth was never in darkness. These moons were a magnificent sight to behold. They were like plates of newly polished silver. The trees would whisper to welcome the moons, and the flowers would release their perfume in their honor. Women would dance in the light. Children would be captivated by their beauty and dream of the mysterious moon people. In the sea there lived a dragon, called Bakunawa. This dragon had a mouth as big as a lake, a tongue as red as blood and as long as a river, the whiskers and gills of a catfish, and 2 pairs of wings, a larger pair as grey as ash, and a smaller pair of a purple hue, which were further down its body. Bakunawa, too, was enchanted by the beauty of the moons. He wondered what they looked like up close. He longed to go near them. He imagined the moons were inviting him over, egging him on to come to them. One night, unable to resist the temptation, he rose up out of the sea and flew up into the sky. He circled the moons, staring at them in wonder. Soon, morning came. The sun was about to rise, and Bakunawa had to leave. But he desired the moons intensely. He knew he had to have at least 1 moon to play with all day. So fascinated was he that he swallowed 1 moon whole. Inordinately proud of this feat, he sank back into his watery domain to rest. When he woke up, he wanted to play with his new possession. But the moon inside him had melted like candle wax. He was devastated. Determined to have a moon of his own, Bakunawa rose into the sky again the next night. He was a kite going higher and higher. Not wanting to swallow the moon, he hid it under his wing. But he was terrified that it might fall, or that someone would steal it. The safest place was inside him, so he swallowed it again, hoping it would still be there when he awoke. To his horror, it had melted once again by the time he woke up. Bakunawa was distressed. He had to have a moon, and one that would last. He continued to rise into the sky, night after night, to swallow yet another moon, and another. Each time it melted inside him, and with each failure he grew more distraught. The trees swayed, beckoning to Bakunawa to come back, and not to eat the moons. The flowers bowed their heads in sorrow, and lost their perfume. Soon, there was only 1 moon left in the sky. Bathala was furious. He shouted at Bakunawa and threatened to destroy him. But Bakunawa begged for mercy. It had not been his intention to kill the moons. He admired their beauty and had only wanted to own them and play with them. His greed had got the better of him. Bathala relented, and instead of killing Bakunawa, he punished the beast by banning him from the sky and commanding him to leave the last moon alone. They say Bakunawa obeys Bathala's order and keeps his promise, at least most of the time. He can be seen sitting on a mountaintop, looking longingly at the last moon. Every now and then his desire gets the better of him, and he rises up towards the last moon, and that is why the moon turns red. The people on earth need the light of the moon. When they see Bakunawa in the sky, they raise a loud clamour, clanging and clashing metal, screaming and wailing, to startle him into remembering his promise. Others take a gentler approach, playing music to lull him to sleep, so that he will forget his longing. In this way, the people on earth help to protect the moon. Stories use a cause and effect structure. To identify cause-effect relationships, we focus on an event. Or we think about the action of a main character. The effect tells the result of the event or action. The effect of one event or action becomes the cause of another. Cause and effect relationships are important to all stories. The wonder of fables. Slow and steady wins the race. Please all, and you will please none. Fine feathers don't make fine birds. These lines bring to mind stories full of lions and mice and geese and monkeys. Fables, short stories with animal characters and an emphasis on a simple moral, form a fundamental part of most childhoods and have an impact on children and adults alike. Modern fables find their origin with Aesop, a slave who lived in ancient Greece. Aesop's Fables is a compilation of 725 short stories that were originally passed down orally from generation to generation. The animals act in ways that are clearly right or wrong, and this contributes greatly to children's understanding of values. And if we focus on the literal meaning, the amusing characters and simple storylines make fables fun reading for all ages.